I've been getting so many questions on how I dye my hair, what dye did I use on my TikTok, and even some questions on my YouTube shorts. So I'm going to give y'all an in-depth tutorial on how I dye my hair like this. I just touched up my roots. I've been locked for 4 years this month, and I've been dyeing my hair since I've been locked. So I've been doing this for quite a while. I'll tell y'all exactly what I use, show y'all step by step, and just let me know if y'all have any questions because I'm always here to answer and help. I use Honey Blonde by High Color. It's number H16. Get a 30 volume developer. This one is a 40 volume developer, but it gives you a little bit of a higher lift, but it's also more damaging to your hair. I have a mixing bowl, a shower cap, a mixing brush. It's really an application brush, but I like to apply it with my fingers. I have black vinyl gloves, and then I also have foil sheets. This is everything that I'm going to need for the dyeing process. But before we start the dyeing process, we have to start on a blank canvas. I just finished shampooing my hair. I did not use conditioner. I just needed to get it clean. Okay, so for this step, I need that mixing bowl and the dye and the developer. The little cap comes with a pokey thing in it, so once you take it off, you just turn it upside down and push it in, and it'll open it for you, so you don't have to. Oops. Now I'm just gonna squeeze out as much as I can. Ooh, I done broke the side of the thing. How do I even do that? Okay, I'm so excited to be expanding to YouTube because I'm on TikTok, and like a lot of people be asking me on TikTok for like deeper tutorials, more in-depth tutorials. I'm probably using like 1 parts of dye and developer. I'm telling y'all, I only need 1 box because I'm doing my roots. I just try to get a nice consistency. I always do 6 sections, so you need 5 ponytails. The first one goes from ear to ear. And my roots usually are not retied when I dye my hair. They're retied now though because I thought I never would dye my hair again. Then I have 2 little bitty sections right here. Okay, for this part, I need the dye that I made, a spray bottle, just because we want to make sure the hair stays damp. If your hair is like high porosity and it dries really quick. And also the little foil pieces and maybe a mirror to see in the back of your head, because I need to know what I'm doing. You can also have a couple of clips just to be on the safe side. And I kind of want this ponytail up higher. Let me turn so y'all can see. I finger guide myself because I feel like I can feel better with my fingers. I also want to add that while you're shampooing your hair, make sure you lather it up and squeeze into your locks when you're shampooing it and when you're rinsing the dye out. I have a video on my TikTok that's pretty detailed on how to wash your locks to make sure you're getting them really clean, especially when you're prepping for dye. Y'all can go watch that. Now that I've reached this section, I've separated into 2. And I'm just taking my foil and just folding it this way and folding it this way. I'm not wrapping the whole thing in like you would do if you're dyeing the whole length of your hair. I'll show y'all better when I get in the front. Okay, now I'm at the top. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit more in depth. The glass is gonna have to come off. Trying to get under all of the hair. Usually this all right here will be new growth and it will just be the darker hair. While all the hair is flipped up, I go upward in tiny little motions to make sure I get dye over all of the underneath. To make sure I get dye over all of the back side, the underside, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and then I take a small little section. For me, it's just 1 row of locks. And I just go in a downwards motion to make sure I got the top too. And then I go in an upward motion to the underneath that's right above that. Does that make sense? You can see better than I can explain. But yeah, just doing underneath. Then I separate one row. And do the top. Sometimes you don't have to add more on the top because it's enough. You just have to make sure it's like evenly distributed. And lots of times people don't want you to kind of like just be aware of your scalp to like get it as close to your scalp as you can without touching your scalp, which is the ideal way of doing it. But I literally grew up getting perms. And okay, one more row and then I'll just put a foil on it. And this is how I put the foil on. Like I said, I'm really just trying to separate it and make sections, not really just trying to like put foil over the dye or anything. And also keep other locks from touching the dye. See? Sectioned off. That's what's done. And when I go and wash this out of my hair, I'm really going to have to take my time and make sure I'm squeezing the shampoo, the neutralizing shampoo, into the roots of my lock where the dye was specifically. If you're trying to dye your locks from dark and they're mature all the way to honey blonde, dye them the first time and wait like 6 to 8 weeks and then dye it again, because you don't want to, you know, lift too much too fast. And a lot of times people bleach their locks to kind of like get it from dark to blonde or honey blonde. You don't want to bleach them. Bleach kind of just eats away at your hair for real. You can see my hair starting to dye over here. Then over, right up here is still dark. Ooh. Take the mirror to my whole head. See what the roots looking like. Looking pretty good. Hold on. The glasses over it. And I gotta pay attention because my edges are gonna take faster than the rest of my hair, which is why I also work bottom up. It makes more sense. If I get to a point where it's light enough, I'll just wipe the dye off. All right, now eyebrows. I don't like the dark eyebrows, light hair look, so I'm gonna do eyebrows. Oops. All right, now I'm gonna do cleanups a little bit. I don't really wait a certain amount of time. I mostly just wait until it's lifted to where I want it to be lifted and then rinse it out. I just pay attention to my roots. I usually put my shower cap on to make sure it dyes evenly. But the way my hair is set up now, I don't even want to put the shower cap on. It's like mostly dyed already. I'll just put it over top. Don't even have to have all of the hair in it. It's just, I'm just gonna return it. This just traps the heat in. So I'm probably gonna let it sit for like 5 minutes because it took me a minute to dye my hair. So I know the back is already done. I'm not really worried about the back. It's already lifted enough. I know once the top gets to where I want it, I'm rinsing it out. And then I'll show you guys what I use to rinse. I'll show you what I use to rinse it out and what I use after it. Okay, so to rinse it out of my hair, I'm just gonna rinse it all out first very thoroughly and squeeze at the roots. And then once I'm done rinsing it out, I'm gonna go in with the neutralizing shampoo. And then I'm gonna shampoo focus on the roots only. And let the rest of the shampoo suds fall down the length of my hair. And then I'm gonna rinse it out. Then after that, if it's pink, I'm gonna do it again. If it's white, like if the bubbles turn pink, I'm gonna do it again. If the bubbles stay white, then I'll go in with the After Color Sealer. This helps a lot because it helps lay down a cuticle that was just lifted from dyeing your hair. And then I'll go in with conditioner, and then I'm gonna do a deep conditioner. And then I'll be back and show y'all what I have. I just got out of the shower. I'm gonna show you exactly what I used, in what order, and how I did it, since I couldn't bring the camera to the shower with me. So I started off, so my hair was in sections, and the same way that I put the dye into my hair is the same order that I rinsed the dye out of my hair. So I started in the back, about that size of a section, and then I'm massaging at the roots to make sure I'm getting all the dye out. Then I pull down the next section, and then I do the same thing, and so forth. Same thing. Next section, same thing. Next section, same thing. Next section, same thing. And then, after all of that was rinsed out with just water, I go and put the neutralizing shampoo. In my hair, and you have to make sure the shampoo suds up and gets foamy, so it's easier to just like lather it and move around and distribute, and then to pull it down the hair shafts and, you know, squeeze it in there. Like, if it's hard for you to get the suds to come out, it's so much easier if you keep the black vinyl gloves on, and you put it on the gloves, rub it together, and you go with both hands at the root, and you keep rubbing at the root till it suds up. And then once it suds up, you come down the shaft with the suds, and then you squeeze it to make sure the shampoo is all throughout your locks, like all through and through. Make sure you shampoo in sections. I started at the back, and then I move my way to the sides, and then the top. That's how I do it. And then I just rinse it out how I rinse it out. Just move it to the side as I'm rinsing it out, and then you can feel when it's all out of your hair. But with this, if it starts to suds up and the suds are pink, that means you still have dye in your hair. So get it all through and through your hair, rinse it out, go back again until it comes out white suds, because it has a color alarm in this. This is why this is very, very good to get, also because it neutralizes it. And then after that, that's when I go in with my regular shampoo, because I use the shampoo and conditioner from this BL line. Oh, it smells so good. So I did that the same order. Then I use the After Color Sealer. This step is so important because you just lifted the cuticle. It's good to lay it back down. This is gonna help your hair like retain moisture and stuff, since you just dyed it. Because, you know, dyeing your hair is putting a lot of stress on your hair, and it could be very damaging, especially if you're not taking care of it. I put this in my hair. I let it sit for about 3 minutes. But I get it all through and through. I focus on the roots. I don't really have to get it through my hair because I didn't put dye on all of my hair, just really the roots. But I did kind of let it fall a little bit. I still had the gloves on because it just helps even the distribution. After I let that sit out, I rinsed it out with like cool water. I shampoo my hair with like warm to hot, like as warm as I can take it. Warm water, that's how I shampoo my hair. Boom. And then once I rinsed it out, I put the conditioner in from the BL line. Like I said, it smells so good. I let that sit for like 3 to 5 minutes, and that's when I take my shower and I wash my face while I'm letting that sit. And then I turn the water all the way to as cold as I can take it. You don't have to be ice cold, of course, but as cold as I can take it, as cool as I can take it, and then I rinse it out. This will also help lock in the moisture. Rinse it out, and then boom. So now I'm putting oil in my hair, because oil is also a sealant. Yeah, I start at the bottom of my hair with the oil, and then I just like use the raking method of like finger combing. Now let me do my edges. Okay, I just did my edges. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe and stick around for more lock videos or just videos about me. And please don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions or if anything confused you, because I respond to everybody. Like the video if you liked the video. Thank y'all.